Inevitable sea level rise as Antarctica ice melts, scientists warn. Whether you observe from the sea or from the air, there's less to see every year. Less ice on the land-bound ice cap, and glaciers, and more ice breaking up and flowing off onto the oceans. Captain pilots his cruise ship U through the flows. Antarctic advent initially. So, scientists on have confirmed that more ice melts into the sea each year than gets added back to the ice cap through snowfall. There. The consequence is inevitable. Also inevitable is the threat to around the world that the sea level rise will cause. It may take decades for that to happen, but it will happen. The more the darker. In the meantime, NASA's program of ice measuring flights is coming to an end. Will take over a what? You. It can take a trip down here to immerse yourself in the realities of climate change. Cruise believes it's important for the people who come here to see what they see and to take back the message. Even among the tourists who come down here, like Lori Faye, there is pause for thought. Search for location/city.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.